Hey guys, step 2 in that delivery process, we got the approval from the customer, met them at the door. In this particular case, they're gonna allow us to drive into the backyard, which is really cool, really nice. It's an acre lot, makes things a little easier. Again, if they were not gonna allow us to do that, then we would dolly it from the road. But if they're gonna allow us to drive through the yard, I'm also gonna wanna ask, you know, what track can I take that's easiest to get back there. I'm also gonna look for, if it's dead summertime, lots and lots and lots of rain, right? Been there, done that, get stuck in someone's yard, that's a real issue. So I know if there's a lot of rain, ton of rain, I'm not driving in the yard either way. I'm gonna try and dolly it back because I can't afford, with all the deliveries, to be stuck in someone's yard. It's a nightmare. I've seen it many times. So this particular customer allows on this easement right here. And I asked them if there was a septic tank, and they said, yeah, it's right here. So I know not to pull up through this part of their yard because that wouldn't make any sense because I'm gonna run over their septic tank. So this would actually be an easement right here, starts right here. Customer approved me to run straight down. Now, I'm not gonna go back out and get the truck as of yet. Why? Because even if they tell me that, I'm gonna walk around and see what I'm up against even before I pull around, right? I wanna make sure I'm not gonna knock over their plants, their hedges, hit pipes, all that. So I'm gonna walk this area. So as I do that, I still have the truck out in the road. I know I'm gonna go back and get the truck, but really quickly, I'm also, before I start unloading my trailer, I just still wanna see what I'm up against. Kind of where do they want it? I'm gonna meet them back there, and I'm gonna put it in the best spot that works for me as well. Talk them out of a bad spot, a dirty spot, something like that. I'm also gonna look for power and water. So if I look to my right, I can already see as I'm panning around, there's a water hose right there. So I know I have water if it's a water slider. I need water at one outlet, right? I see they have an outdoor area. I see there's also power right here. So what I'm doing is scanning this for, you know, when I make the turn or wherever they want it, I can get an idea of distance based off what they're, you know, trying to tell me. So if I come back here, I'm also looking at, you know, if I get back through the yard, a lot of people don't know if the yard is on the side of a mountain, you don't want to come through the yard anyway because you're going to tip your, you know, everything's going to be, you can't unload the trailer if you're sitting sideways like this. It's just too hard to do. So if I come back here, I see a pretty wide open space. That makes me pretty comfortable. I see that this is on a bigger hill up here, got some flat here, and then it drops down a lot right here, right? So I'm scanning that. So now I'm gonna assume, hey, Miss Jones, are you guys gonna be out here on the pool deck area for the most part, or kind of where you're setting up camp, right? So if this was a really nasty yard and that was a big dirt spot over there, and this was kind of grassier, a lot of customers be like, put in that big dirt spot over there. I'm gonna talk them out of that because I don't wanna get my unit totally messed up. So I'm gonna explain to them that's gonna be a mud hole. Miss Jones is gonna create you a lot of headache. I can caddy it, corner it right here. You're gonna get the same result. You can see the kids nicely, whatever the case may be. Try and talk them into the best setup for me. If I come back here, depending on where they want it, again, what am I doing? I'm looking for water and power. So I can see very easily in their pool section right here that they have water there. And she enlightened me that they have another power source right over there. So pretty easy setup. I can run the cord. Now, when I run that cord, and I'll do this in setup, I don't want to drag the cord through walkways into the inflatable. So if I was going to set up power right here, and I had a 100-foot cord, which you're only supposed to run a 25 on a blower, but we all run 100s. I had a 100-foot cord. I'm going to run it out that way, down that hill, and back behind the unit. I'm not going to drape it across so everybody can trip over it and walk over it and things like that. So now that I've set up and I understand what they want, it works for me. The power, where the water is, if it's a water slider or water combo, I can piece together getting my truck. I've checked the landscape. The ground is safe. I'm not gonna get stuck. I'm not gonna hit anything that they may have in the yard. That feels good. I'm gonna back in here. I'm gonna unload the equipment, you know, where I want it. And I can see the whole thing now. I can move quickly into my delivery rather than starting from the front, holding a piece of inflatable when you don't know what's going on, which makes you much more tired, you know, carrying a bunch of stuff around, which you'll have to move 2 or 3 times, find out who, what, when, where, how, then go do it. Get all the information, do the homework to get all the information you need to move forward and do it one time. And then we'll show you some setup stuff and move on to phase 3.